Hey guys, good morning. I am so super pumped to be here today. Oh my gosh, we are already on day 18. Can you guys believe that it has been 2 weeks? Like, we have had 2 full, beautiful, gorgeous, juicy weeks of the Woman of Wealth and Worth Summit already. And the good news is we get to extend this and we get to rock it out for a whole other week. Oh my goodness, you guys. So when you pop in, I want to share all the vibes with you this morning. All of the vibes. So when you pop in here, let me know that you're here. What's up, Lori? Hey, hey, hey. Hello, hello, my love. So I have my phone up so I can watch all your comments and see you. When you pop in here, let me know, how are you? What's up? What are the weekend plans? What are you doing? What's going on? Share all the things with me because I want to know. It is Saturday, you guys. I am literally like thinking about this morning. I was thinking about our lineup of people we have had here in this summit. And I'm looking back just like, are you kidding me right now? Like, the women we've had on this summit have been just incredible. Am I right? They have been incredible. What's up, Velma? Hello, hello, my love. Good morning. How are you? So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Val Nichols. I am here to just share all the vibes with you. I am your host. I am a business coach. I talk everything business, money, and mindset. I am obsessed. I love what I do. I love my clients. They're having amazing results. I'm so lit up to be here, to be serving you guys, to, that you're trusting me to be your host, to be your coach, to be your guide. You know, so many amazing, magical things have happened. We've been able to give back to an animal shelter. We've been able to learn about and give back to people in Colombia who are really struggling during this time, small villages. We've had so much growth, so much connection, so many amazing women in here sharing with us, sharing how they've created the life and the business of success and the business of their dreams. So I'm pumped. If you guys are pumped, give me some hearts and let me know that you are ready for this. Ladies, I am just so incredibly pumped. The woman we have on today, she is amazing. Like, let me just share with you that she is the type of woman that she became a teenage mom. She found out she was pregnant when she was just a teenager. I mean, can you imagine? There might be some of you out there that also have been teen moms. But she found out she was a teenager and she absolutely refused to become a statistic. So she's going to share with you a lot about that journey, and she's going to share in specifically like one conversation she had that completely shifted her mindset. I mean, it's amazing, you guys. So I want to share with you, her name is Erin Call. She is beautiful. She's a coach. She's a hypnotist, hypnotist, and she does like a bunch of different modalities. So I want to share with you guys her interview. So with no further ado, I would love to introduce to you Miss Erin Call. She is, let me get this up here. If you guys are pumped, let me know. Super pumped, super pumped. What's up, Tanya? Tanya, how's it going, my girl? Yes, Erin is amazing. She is so awesome. So here we go, guys. Erin Nicole Call is ready now.
I think it was that month or the next month that a switch flipped for me, and I doubled my income. I hit executive, like all the things fell into place. But honestly, I felt like I stopped chasing.
Hey guys, Val Nichols here, and imagine if you were a teenager, you're sitting there, and all of a sudden you realize that you are pregnant. And you look at this and you realize that, in 9 months, you're going to have this beautiful baby that you're going to bring into the world. And you make a solid commitment to yourself, that you are not going to let being a teenage mom define you and define your future. Today's guest did exactly that. Fast forward, she went on to build a successful corporate career, then transitioned into having a brick and mortar business, which then transitioned into being in network marketing, where she not only had wild success in that, she built in 1 year, she became the top 1% in her company. She's gone on to become a hypnotherapist. She's gone on to create a beautiful mindset business where she now offers one-on-one coaching to help transform women's lives. It is my honor and my privilege to introduce today Erin Nicole Call. Erin, welcome.
Thank you so much. That was like, I could feel that. I could totally feel that. I feel like you did such a great job of introducing me. So thank you so much. Hello, you guys. How are you? I'm so excited to be here. Like she said, that's kind of been my journey. She pretty much hit the nail on the head. I now run a coaching business, and I'm the creator and founder of Soul Naked CEO, which is a personal development movement with the focus on peeling back the layers of who you were told you needed to be and really step into who you were truly created to be. I work a lot around mindset, energy, manifestation, and as she said, I'm a hypnotherapist. So that's all.
I love that. I love that you said peeling back the layers of who you're meant to be, because, you know, I too had wild, awesome success in corporate world, but realized that even though I had all the things, the paycheck, the car, the whatever, things on the outside looked great. And, you know, people are thinking like, wow, this woman has it all, but I'd come home at night and feel empty.
Yeah. Actually just did a podcast interview this morning with someone that I've known for decades. I actually knew her probably since I was, I don't know, I've known her since I was an early teen. And same thing, she had had a ton of success. And she's like, I started crying to my husband the last few months, where I was like, something's not right. Like it's like the knock on the door of your soul. I always say, like, it's a little knock and it's like, hey, listen. And then all of a sudden it becomes like a kicking down the door. And then it becomes like this raging inferno where things you either start to listen or things begin to kind of fall apart and crack wide open, almost quote unquote, like forcibly making you listen to what you truly want. Because I don't believe we live in an or universe. Okay, you can have the success or the happiness. I think really our job is to say, like, who I truly am and who I was put here to be is about and. It's about both.
I love that. That's one of my mottos too, that it's not an either or, it's how do you create that and? And I think that's really hard for you. Also talk about, you know, in your early journey, how really getting out of your own way and letting go of that control. I laugh because this was a huge struggle for me too. Hiring teams, going bigger, expanding, everything has been about letting go of control and creating that and conversation. Like, do you remember a moment where you realized, like, wow, I don't have to choose between being a mom or being a corporate woman or being an entrepreneur or living my soul passion, being the naked CEO. I can have it all. Do you remember a moment?
Yeah. Many. I call them line in the sand moments. It's funny because I was actually just reading a book. A lot of the times midday, I like to kind of stop and recenter. And I was outside and I was reading a book and it was talking about that. It was talking about, you know, how essentially you don't have to choose, right? And I think, and I was talking about really surrendering and leaning back, and you know, the only time we feel like we need to chase things is when we feel like we're in competition. Really, if you look at it, like there's no separateness, but that's what in our physical human experience we often feel. But one specific time comes to mind, and it comes to mind because I can remember where I was having this conversation. I had promoted fairly quickly in my network marketing business, and then I hit a wall. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of quote unquote like pacing partners or whatever they called it with a few of the other leaders on our team in our company. And I was walking the kids to the park one afternoon, and I remember one of the girls said, "Hey, can I call you?" I said, "Sure, yeah, the kids are playing, we can talk." So I'm sitting there and we're talking, and I remember her saying, "Are you okay?" And I was like, huh. Whoa. And my initial reaction was, does it look like I'm trying too hard? I remember saying that and thinking that. And she's like, no, but I know you're always working and you're always doing all the things and you're you work harder than all of us. And I was like, my reaction at that point was like, okay, does she know who I am? Does she know that like I'm not going to fall apart? I'm fine. Like I can do all the things. Of course I'm working hard. Like I want the things, you know? And I remember her saying something like, I don't think it's about what you're doing. I think it's about who you're being. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow, I am chasing. And did that feel good? Like it felt exciting maybe in the beginning, right? But chasing something doesn't actually feel good, because what you realize is that then you will always be chasing something. And then it's literally like a rat race, right? And honestly, I remember, I think it was that month or the next month that a switch flipped for me. Mm-hmm. And I doubled my income. I hit executive, like all the things fell into place. But honestly, I felt like I stopped chasing. And I don't know that her conversation with me was part of the catalyst to that or what, but I just remember thinking, okay, chasing, and I know this, but do I embody this? Chasing is not the answer.
I love that, because, you know, that really hits home for me. And that also, you know, I'm thinking about the women who are watching this right now. I know that a lot of, you know, my clients are all very similar backgrounds with the corporate world, where I feel like even, you know, in school, in the world, like we're kind of trained. Our conditioning is to think that we have to hustle, we have to grind, we have to do all these things, to the point where I know in my own story and a lot of the women I work with, we almost feel this like level of guilt when we're not working, when we're just taking it easy. And something that I love about your story, I'm just fascinated about your story, is you had said something about the moment you hit, like you were clicking on your screen in your multi-level marketing company, your network marketing company, you were clicking, waiting to see if you had reached that level where you were trying to hit the top 1%. And you said something that like, oh my gosh, I was like, ooh, that hits me on a soul level. The fact that the moment you clicked and you saw you made it, your first instant thought was, oh, how am I going to maintain this?
It's so funny that you say that, because I'm like, I say things and sometimes I just channel things and they come out. And I remember feeling that. I don't remember saying that. So I love that you know that I said that. Yes, because it was built on a deck of, are we allowed to swear? No.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Go for it.
Built on a deck of fucking cards. It was like, I always use this Jenga example of like, you know, you create this tower, and then all of a sudden you're like, if you remove one little piece, you're so afraid the whole thing is going to fall down because it wasn't sustainable in the first place. And yeah, so that was my initial reaction, was like, oh, is this sustainable?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, even what you said, like we're taught to chase the things. We're taught to struggle for success. We're taught to this self-sacrificial concept of like, I sacrifice my happiness, I sacrifice my time in order to make it, and then I can have the time and the freedom. And the reality is if that's the way in which we build the things, you're never going to give yourself permission to have the time or the freedom or the joy, because you're going to be on to the next thing, because there's always a next thing, which there's nothing, I don't believe that there's anything wrong. There's always going to be a next level, of course. And that's beautiful, and that's growth. That's like our natural state of being. But not when we're chasing something outside of ourselves.
Yes, I love that. And it sounds like a lot of your message is about, you know, not like looking at the external things, but really going deep with your vision and getting so hooked on to what is it you really want underneath all the conditioning, all the fluff, all the glamour, all the glitz. Like, what is it on a soul naked level that you want, and then aligning with that?
Yeah. I actually remember, I like to always tell stories. I remember probably towards the end of 2018, I was sitting on the couch with my husband, and I remember saying to him, and I was still, that was the last year I did network marketing. So I was still in network marketing then, and I hadn't even started my coaching business, but it was like rising in my soul. Like I knew what I was going to do, because what I had been doing all along, what I did in corporate, what I had been doing, you know, with my network marketing team was building women up, empowering them, doing this work that I'm talking to you about. But I wanted to do it on my own. I wanted to build a movement. And I remember sitting there saying to him, bawling, I just want to know myself. And I giggle now, but it was like this deep, deep desire to like know what it was that I really wanted, right? Because when I started as an entrepreneur, it was like, okay, I want to help women and I want to make money and I want to be with my kids. I didn't really know. It was kind of just stepping into, I don't want to be in the corporate cubicle where I hang the photos of my family and pretend I want to be here, because I don't. And I remember him saying like, the world needs more of that. And I was like, okay, all right. And it was really just like, that's kind of how Soul Naked came to be. It was never like intended to be my brand. It was just, okay, here I am, like literally getting soul naked, peeling back the vows of silence that all the women in my life that came before me had like bestowed upon me. Like, here, you have to be, you have to be quiet. You have to be a good wife, a good mother. This is what you follow. This is what you do. And I was like, I am the first one breaking these chains. And that's kind of where Soul Naked came from,
Mm-hmm. I love that, because, something that I think that a lot of people who are watching this are going to really relate to is when you're going one way, and you have that success, the worldly success, what is what we should have, right? I hate when people should on you, but there's this idea of what we should have, and you were there. And then next thing you know, you go a different direction, which ends up being the stepping stone that leads you to where you are now.
Yeah.
And did you, I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but did you have people, I'm just going to ask this because someone out there's asking this in their mind right now. Yeah. But did you have people that when you were like, okay, I'm going to go this direction now, even though you were successful here, you were at a certain level, and then you're like, well, my real soul calling is this, now I'm going this way. Did you have people that go, why? You're crazy.
Yes, and I was the one that did that the most, which is the crazy part of the story, that even though I was the one that's like, okay, I give myself permission, I did that more than anybody else. I looked at myself and I was like, is something wrong with you? Like, why do you keep changing? You have a corporate job, you go back to school, then you start your business, then you're in network marketing, now you're coaching. So I think one of my greatest fears, truthfully, in that journey of getting soul naked was like standing there naked and having people be like, you did all these things. Do you even have any idea what you really want? Like, what are you actually bringing to the world? And very few people actually presented me with that question, truthfully. Mm-hmm. There was definitely some people in my company, but they were pretty gracious. I will be honest. I was very blessed. And I do think our energy often dictates the experiences that we have and the way people respond to us. But it was more me than it was anything else, like even if my husband thought it, he never really said it. He kind of just was always like, go, and, I think at this point, my parents also, or my family, kind of know that like Erin does what she wants. So there wasn't much to say. That's a long answer to a short question.
I love it. And so I think that, a lot of people get to that point. A lot of people get to the point where they might even realize like, I think I know what my soul calling is. I think I know what that is. And then there's that moment of, where you feel like that heart racing, your heart is racing and that this is what you're called to do. And a lot of people get stuck in that part where they're like, okay, I see where I've been and I'm so afraid to go back there, but I'm even more afraid to take the leap. You did what a lot of people don't do. So what would you say to, if with all the knowledge you have now today, if you were to go back to the version of Erin right in that moment when you took that leap? Because I think that there's people who are watching right now that are feeling that right now. And they're feeling that pain and that terror of like, well, it's unknown and it's scary. What would you say to that person right now?
I think that I would say that every time you do something new, like it's always the first time. So think back to a time when you did something new. And then how did that become your new normal? Because this is reality. Like, this is what happens. You take the leap, and yes, it's scary, but I promise you, like, whatever is on the other side of that fear is magic. Whether it is your ultimate soul calling or not, like who you become in the process will continue to guide you and lead you. And if you just let yourself go there, that will become your new normal. Like, that will become your new standard. That will become the version of you that you fully embrace once you take that step. And it is far, at least in my mind and in the way I process things and in my body, it is far, quote unquote, scarier to think what life would be like if I didn't say yes to myself. You know, like God, the universe, divine source, whatever you believe in, deeply, deeply wants to support you. But I promise that it requires that you go first. Mm-hmm. Like you take that first step in faith. You take that first leap of like, I am scared shitless right now, but like, I'm going to trust. I am going to like, it's like leaping. Like I'm going to leap in like the wind in my sails. I will be caught. I will be caught on the journey always.
That is so beautiful. That is so beautiful. And I've heard you say that before about, you know, you didn't know how you were going to do it. You just say yes. And then it's interesting because you say that your stubborn streak is a gift. Me too. I'm extremely stubborn and it's worked out really well. But you say that a lot about how you're the type of person who just says yes and then you figure it out.
Yeah. Like, I don't know where I heard that or who said that to me or where that came to be, if I'm being completely honest, but in the back of my head, I'm always like, you say yes, and then you figure it out. And I always say that to my husband. And it's really funny. Someone came to our door the other day. He has 2 businesses as well. And they're like, hey, I'm your neighbor. And I heard that you do this. And he looks, after he got done talking to them, he's like, I don't do that. And I also don't know how to do that. But I told her that I have all this stuff. And then in 2 weeks, we can schedule it. And he's like, in the next 2 weeks, I will figure out how. I always tell you that, like, literally, you will figure it out. You say yes, and then you teach yourself. Like, you know, and I think, and I won't say, I'm not sure if I can confidently say I was always like that. I kind of have always had like a weird, wild spirit, I guess, but I'm not sure in this capacity. So if someone's watching thinking, well, that's just not how I work, that's just not me. I think the greatest thing that holds us back is this idea of, well, this is who I've always been. I've always been the person to play it safe. I've always been the person that, you know, analytically sits down and calculates A to Z. And if there's a bump in the road, I take a step back and stop letting yourself fall back into the trap of who I've always been. Like you can choose in any moment to do one thing differently. And what I learned at a Tony Robbins event that has always stuck with me is that like the fastest way to change your identity is to do something the old you wouldn't do. One thing. Just start with one thing. You don't need to map out 10 things, one thing. And that'll just like flip a switch enough where like if you continue to follow that, life will change.
Yes, I love that because we ultimately we get to create who we want to be when the reality that we have. And we have a choice. We have such a choice. We have such a power of choice. So I love that message.
So true. We have the ability to create whatever it is that we desire by creating the version of us that has it. And that's where, you know, I always go back to like, it's not outside of you. It's always inside of you.
I love it. Such great advice from the Soul Naked CEO herself, Erin Nicole Call. And I know that you have a free offer you would like to offer for our listeners today. Can you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. So I have a free ebook that I believe Valerie has the link. I call it my Worthy Woman ebook. It's a 6-step manifestation guide to essentially creating the reality of your dreams. Whatever you apply it to, if you take the steps and you put your own little twist on them, you will step into the version of you that has the ability to create whatever it is that you want. And this is what I always hear is I've taken like spiritual concepts and kind of like energetic metaphysic concepts or whatever, and I anchor them in. A lot of people have said it's very street spirit. Like I anchor them into like tangible things that you can actually apply to your life now, to the process right now, wherever you're at. And it really doesn't matter the quote unquote level that you're at or the level of belief that you have, because you will apply the process and incrementally upgrade. And so you can use it at whatever level. And I think you're going to put the link in the comments, right? So I would love for you guys to, you know, grab the ebook, tag me on Instagram if you want. If you use it and you feel led to, I would love to, you know, hear from you.
Yes. And I know that people are going to want to follow you. Speaking of Instagram, so where can they find you?
Sure. You guys can find me on Instagram. I am at Soul Naked CEO. I'm primarily on Instagram. I'm always in Insta stories. And then I have a free Facebook community, the Soul Naked CEO as well, and erincallcoaching.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Erin. It's been such a pleasure having you on here today.
Thank you so much for having me. I just love the dynamic conversations that happen between two women that see things so similarly in our own way.
I love it. And thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye. Hey everybody. Oh my goodness. Wasn't that beautiful, gorgeous, inspiring, all the things? I am so pumped for today's interview. What a beautiful way to be kicking off and ending week 2 of the Woman of Wealth and Worth Summit. I am so excited. Let me pull my comments up here so I can see you guys. Hey, hey, hey. If you are here, you guys, I'm so excited. If you're here, let me know in the comments. Say hi. I see that some of you guys are on here, but it's not letting me know who is here. So, yeah, I would love to just say hi to you and see how you're doing. How's your weekend? So I want to ask you guys, we talked a lot about the shift that happened for Erin. She talked about that exact conversation she had where she stopped chasing. And that chasing wasn't the answer. And, I was really thinking about this morning when I was thinking about you guys. And I was just getting so excited for this interview today because, all the Saturday vibes. I don't usually work on Saturdays, but, I get to serve you guys. I get to show up here and be in a powerful way with you, which I just love because we get to hold space for one another. And, what I was really thinking about was the whole thing about chasing. A lot of times we get in this mindset, we get in this space where we're chasing money, where we're chasing wealth, we're chasing abundance, we're chasing success. And, what's true for myself as well, when I was chasing the money, like when I was in my corporate job and, doing really well and making a lot of money, but the thing is that I would still feel this emptiness inside because I had to hide a part of myself. I had to, really like dole down my shine, so to say. I'm a pretty big personality. I get really excited, have a lot of energy. And, there's a lot of times when we're doling down ourselves. And I remember one of the speakers, I believe it was Tanya, she said, when is the first time that you silenced your voice? When is the first time that you quieted who you are? And that really made me think, and what I know is true today is that a lot of times we silence ourselves, we dole down our shine, we dole down our ability to attract the success and attract the wealth, attract the money that we truly desire. Because here's the thing. I want to ask you guys, I just want to ask you this one question is, how good are you at receiving? You might have noticed, if you didn't notice this yesterday, Paola used a beautiful language because your words matter a lot in attracting the wealth and the abundance and the success that you truly desire. She said, when I gave her a beautiful compliment, I shared, just the way I see her, the reflection I have of her, my experience of her. She said, thank you, I receive it. I don't know if you guys picked up on that, but she said, thank you, I receive it. And there's something so powerful in those words because, here's what I know is true for women. And all of my clients are, anywhere from 26, 27, up to, 60, I believe, late 50s, early 60s, maybe middle 60s. So, no matter what type of woman I am working with, when they come to me, these could be women who are starting out in business, they're building their business, they're leaving their corporate jobs, they are already successful, hitting multiple six figures, and they want to go beyond because, there's no shame in wanting to desire to create multiple six figures, seven figures. If that's your beat and that's your standard, girl, do you? You know what I mean? If your goal is to make $20,000 a year or, 200,000 or seven figures, whatever is true and real for you is absolutely what you're called to do, right? As long as you can feel clean energy about it, you feel good, you feel your desires are in alignment, it's in alignment with who you are, what your beliefs are, and your desire to give back, then 100% go all in, right? There is no shame. There's no shame. And it gets to be easy. But I want to ask you guys, like, how good are you at receiving? What I've discovered is that, a lot of times women especially, because we're very giving, we're very nurturing, we have that mama bear vibe, we have all these things, like what happens is we're so good at giving, serving other people, pouring ourselves into our corporate job, doing all these things. But then when it comes to your own business, this happens a lot of times for women who are like myself, coming out of corporate, where maybe they were really successful in corporate, and then all of a sudden they get into their own business, and because they're blocking their ability to receive, either on a conscious or a subconscious level, they're blocking their ability to receive, they can't seem to make money in their own business. And this can show up all over in life. And this is not just like, it's interesting because how you do one thing is how you do everything. So this shows up in areas like if you can't find the right relationship, this could be because you're blocking your ability to receive love. Because at a deeper, intimate level, whenever we talk about money, we're talking about self-worth. That is why this is the woman of wealth and worth. Because I teach all things business, money, and mindset, and you would be shocked to discover when you've been in it as long as I have and like really seeing below the surface of so many women, they're so tightly knit, they're so tightly combined that you can't have one without the other. And, if you're the type of woman that even thinking about receiving, like what if I said right now, hey, I'm going to give you a crisp $100 bill. What comes up for you? Like really get honest with yourself and like what comes up for you in that moment when you think like someone's going to give me something for nothing? Are you excited? Are you hesitant? Are you questioning? Are you like whatever that is for you? What is coming up for you? What about the last time someone gave you a compliment? Were you able to receive it? Or were you like, oh my gosh, no, my hair, like if someone says, your hair looks so nice today, were you automatically like, no, oh my gosh, no, oh, my hair's horrible today, like, oh, whatever. Or were you thinking like, what, does my hair normally not look good? Were you like just putting it away? Were you just like brushing it off? How did you receive? And if you notice this, I'll give you guys the task over the next 24 hours, notice how you receive things. Notice how you receive information. Notice how you receive feedback in your life. Notice how you receive compliments, because this is going to give you a huge key into your life about how well you receive. Because if you are asking, this is something like people will say, I'm trying all the things, I'm doing all the things you're saying, I'm doing all the money mindset stuff, but it's not working. I will sit down and ask them and dissect and uncover, are you open to receive? 9 times out of 10, I can tell you that the woman is blocking her wealth, blocking her cash, blocking the money because she's not able to receive. And I think this is like a human nature thing. We learn to think that, like for me, I grew up believing that money had to be hard, that you had to work really hard and that you had to sacrifice for money. There were certain days where it's like, yeah, we can do this now, but we're going to have to pay the electric bill late, or the electric bill is going to be the electricity is going to be shut off for a week or two, or, we're going to have to go shower at friends' houses because we have no hot water, or, whatever it was. We have to sacrifice in this area so that we can do this. We have to sacrifice here so that we can do this. Like I had someone in my life growing up that was very, very like it was all about them. So what I learned was true for me was that she got whatever she wanted. Like she would raise a fuss, she would throw a fit, whatever it was to get what she wanted. And then I was always put on the back burner. And so what I learned was that to get what you want, you had to be greedy, you had to throw, be loud, you had to be like the B word, you had to like be really demanding, you had to lie, manipulate, all of these things. And I also learned that I needed to just be quiet, sit back, and not want for anything, right? And, again, these are beliefs that you pick up from well-meaning adults, from well-meaning people in your life, or, just beliefs you create, or meanings you get, that narratives you create based upon your experience growing up, and mostly we create these ideas and thoughts either through really painful moments or we absorb them before the age of 7. And here's what I know is true today. This is the capital T. This is the truth. We are created to be abundant. We are created to have our needs met. You are created resourceful. You were created a blank canvas. And in this moment, at any moment, you get to decide. We get to decide, you guys. Like, there's so much power in that we get to decide the narrative, the reality, the conversation, the beliefs that we have. It's going to take some intention. It's going to take some intention if you're just starting out, or if you're in the middle of your path or whatever it is. It's going to take some intention. And this is going to start with really, looking at the beliefs you currently have, breaking through the beliefs that you're carrying, flipping the script on the narrative, but you can really step into your power. You can take your power back in the fact that you have the choice. We get to decide at any moment, you guys. And, if someone would have told me this 10 years ago, I would have been so mad. I would have been so angry, and I would have come back at them with resistance, with pushback, with all the things. So if that's your initial reaction, just notice that. And, I'm okay being that role for you today. I'm okay, because whatever is going to come up for you, it could be, me saying this reminds you of a parent, me saying this reminds you of whatever. I'm okay with that role. But it's my job, it is my commitment to you to guide you through this process. And at the end of the day, I would rather stand in my integrity and stand in my commitment to you and hold space for you than walk away knowing that I soft played it for you or I downplayed it for you. But at any moment, you get to choose to stand in your power and receive the abundance and the wealth. And, it takes just as much energy to stay broke and stay in that poverty mindset, to stay in that place of lack, as it does to step into your full abundance. I mean, how would it feel? How would it feel to know that all of your bills are covered, that you don't have to sit and, calculate the days on your calendar and wonder, if I arrange this and I do this and I transfer this bank account to this or this credit card or whatever, if I pay with this credit card, then I got this. And then next thing you know, how would it feel to sit down to pay your bills and feel loving and gratitude, to feel connection to something so much bigger than yourself? Imagine realizing that in this moment, you are so taken care of and that every single thing you need is right here, right now. And you're so open to receiving that it comes easy, it's effortless, that the abundance, the wealth shows up in ways that are expected, unexpected, that you're in this realm of possibility, that you're literally standing in the field of potentiality where all things are possible. You give just to give. You feel so open and abundant that when things stir you up, when things light your passion, you can sit there and no matter what the circumstances are, because you can be a victim of your circumstances or you can be empowered by your choices. And you're so empowered by your choices that you step out and you can make a huge difference in the world by donating to animal shelters, by helping village people in Colombia create a better life for themselves. All because there's a passion inside of you, and there's that thing that's stirred that tells you, I was created for so much more. And I get to give. I get to give, and I get to make choices not based on money. I get to make choices based upon how I feel called to. What is my soul, my raw, real, naked soul is calling me to do. Step into that field of potentiality right now. Feel the magic that you would feel if you knew that you never had to base your decisions on a number in a bank account ever again. What would that feel like? How would you wake up in the morning? How would you feel laying your head on your pillow at the end of the night? What big, audacious thing would you finally do if you knew that you never had to base a decision on money again? What would you say yes to? What would you dive into? How would you say yes to yourself? How would you treat yourself? How would you treat those around you? How would you show up in the world? And how would you feel knowing that you are completely unstoppable? And I want to encourage you this morning, over this weekend. Tomorrow we have a replay day. So if you're in my inbox, if you're signed up for this program, you're going to receive all of the interviews in your inbox, and you have a whole day to catch up on any of the videos you might have missed or go rewatch. So tomorrow's replay day, and I encourage you over the weekend to just really sit in that and notice, how would you feel if you could receive all of the abundance? And if you lived in that realm of possibility, if you stood in the middle of that field of potentiality, how would you feel? And when you can really feel it in the moment, like for me, it shows up and I feel so full. I feel so complete. I feel so unstoppable. And I would just want to share with you guys, that is where I make my decisions today. From that space. Because, Einstein said you can't fix a problem with the same thinking that got you there. And he also said that the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over and over and expecting different results. So I want to encourage you over this weekend. I want you to really pay attention to what is coming up for you, and pretend, practice embodying and being that woman. What decisions would you make? What choices would you make? How would you show up? What would you say yes to? And make your decisions from that space, in that energy. Because, I was just talking to my husband about my business this morning, my company, and I was saying, from the 7-figure standpoint, this is the decisions I would make. This is what I would do in my business. I'm not there yet. But you guys, I'm making decisions from the 7-figure space. Because that's where I'm going. I would so much rather drive up this mountain on this windy, crazy, steep road, looking forward at where I'm going and not in the rearview mirror of where I've been. Guys, 10 years ago, I don't know if you're on my emails, you saw this. 10 years ago to this day, I was bouncing around from couch to couch, sleeping in my car a lot of nights. Because of my money mindset, because of my lack of ability of receiving, I went from having 6 figures in my bank account to sleeping in my car in my 20s, because my mindset was so broken. because I didn't know how to receive. I pushed away, great relationships. I pushed away job opportunities. I pushed away people. I pushed away my money. I pushed away a lot of things in my life because I didn't feel worthy of receiving. And it is my personal mission in life to help any woman who wants it. Because unfortunately, coaching is not for those who need it. It's for those who really want it, who are hungry, who have the desire to move forward, to create the things that is possible for them. If I could help everyone who needs it, I'd be booked out till 2045. But I get to help the women who really want it. And it is my strongest desire and passion that no woman will ever feel the way I felt sleeping in the backseat of my car because I was so full of pride. I was so full of pride I wouldn't ask for help. Feeling so alone and so broken that I didn't even want to continue in my life. I didn't want to. Struggling with alcohol addiction, struggling with all these feelings, being slapped in the face with all the things I had been running away from my entire life. I never want another woman to feel that way, ever. Ever. Guys, that's why I show up. Know your why. That's why I show up. That's why I serve you guys. That's why I give and give and give and give and give. Because I am now living in that realm of potentiality. I'm standing in the middle of the field where all things are possible. And that all started from stepping up, taking a stand for myself, stepping out, believing I was worth it, which for me, it was just like this teeny little speck, a little speck of hope that someone else gave me. I had to borrow someone else's hope. When they told me things were possible, I looked at them like, I don't know if that's possible for me. But because you believe in me, I'm going to hook on to that. I'm going to hook on to that possibility and I'm going to run with it. So if you don't believe in it yet, borrow mine. Borrow my belief in you, because if it's possible for me, you guys, it is possible for you. I look around at my life today and I can't even believe. I cannot even believe this is my life. I get to be here. I get to serve you. I get to be your guide. I get to hold space for you. And if I can do this, you can too. You guys, 10 years ago, I don't even know how much in debt I was. I was so afraid of looking at my money. All I know is that debt after debt after debt after debt after debt kept popping up. And I was somewhere around probably like 80,000 in debt. I'm not joking. I am not kidding. 10 years ago. And today, it's more like in my bank account, the opposite of that. Abundance, worthiness, wealth, everything I want, I can create. And I don't even do this for the money, you guys. I do this because it lights my soul on fire. I do this because when I sit with another woman like I was yesterday with one of my clients, oh my gosh, I'm going to cry. And we're able to break through to her deepest truth and her deepest desire. And she's able to finally realize what she needs to let go of in order to rise. When she's able to show up and serve her family in a bigger way. When she's able to just skyrocket through the limits and prove to herself that all things are possible. That you can start a business in the middle, right in COVID. First day of her business was the first day of COVID shutdown. You can start your business in COVID and still be making $80,000 to $90,000, right? You can still do this. All things are possible, you guys. All things are possible if you take a stand for yourself. Grab onto whatever little tiny hope that you have. If you don't believe in yourself yet, borrow mine. Borrow mine. Because today, if I could bottle up the way I feel in this moment, I would give it to each and every one of you. I am having chills right now. Like, I have chills, you guys. Because my love for you, my love for this game that I'm talking about, where we get to play big, we get to go all in, my love for all things is just so real and true. And you guys, none of this, like, this is the real, authentic me. I feel deeply. I love deeply. I care deeply. I give deeply. Because that's who I am at the core. And I used to hide that part of me. I used to be so afraid of showing that part of me because I've been hurt. Because it hurts. But what I realized is that, you know what? Stepping out and taking the risk and going big and playing bigger and going deeper, the reward and the benefit of that is worth $1 million. $1 million. I'm not crying, you're crying. So I love you guys so much. I want to welcome, Jennifer Benton, welcome to the July Cash Comeback. I want to welcome Tracy Repchuk, girl, welcome. I want to welcome Melissa Goray, and I want to welcome Deb Koss from this group. Ladies, I am so excited to be doing the July Cash Comeback with you starting Monday. For those of you who are interested, I know there's a couple of people who are still signing up today. You've emailed me for the link. Welcome for all the ladies that are going to come in. We are going to dive deep into all of this. We're going to dive deep into how to get out of that poverty mindset, that mindset of lack, and to really dive in and jump into that field of potentiality, to step out, to take a stand for yourself, to believe in yourself, to get that hope, to like align your frequency, to align your vibe, to receive, learn how to receive all the cash, all the abundance. You're going to feel so amazing. I cannot even wait, because you guys know what, like, even at $77, this program is freaking lit. It is lit. You are going to walk away feeling so freaking amazing, incredible, gorgeous, sexy, seductive, wealthy, worthy, alive, lit up, passionate, feeling completely great. Not just okay, but amazing in your own skin. Waking up in the morning passionate, knowing that you will receive and that you are taken care of. All right, ladies, we start on Monday. So Monday, July 20th, we are starting the July Cash Comeback. It is $77 to sign up. If you want in, put cash, July Cash in the comments. I'll get you the link, and we are starting on Monday. I love you guys so, so much. Thank you for hanging out with me this morning. Sign up for the July Cash Comeback. I will see you on the inside. I love you guys, and I will see you then. Bye.